For my hand wandering home, when Jesus sees my accursed friend is he. His eye is on the span, and I know he watches over me. I'm gonna let you burn. Now I will stop. Now I will stop. Now I will stop. I'm gonna let you burn. Now I will stop. But he won't.
A year before the arrival of the Mayflower, 244 years before the signing of the Emancipation Proclamation, 335 years before Brown versus the Board of Education, shifted off the River James, and that is the first generation of African Americans at Jamestown, Virginia. And now, here we are today in Houston, Texas, a city that expands back over more than 150 years, and the time is 1993.
Hallelujah!
One of the most significant groups to make its mark felt on this scene has been the African Americans.
Which is one of the reasons why we celebrate Black History Month. Perhaps you wonder why Black History Month comes in February, or who started Black History Month.
The idea began over 60 years ago and was only a one-week celebration.
It was begun in 1926 by a historian, someone who keeps records of events and happenings that take place in our world. This historian name was Carter D. Woodson.
Mr. Woodson was interested in making certain that the history of the African Americans was correctly told.
Mr. Woodson selected the month of February for two main reasons.
It was the month of Abraham Lincoln's birth. Abraham Lincoln was known as a great emancipator because of his role in ending slavery. And it also was the month of Frederick Douglass' birth. Mr. Douglass was one of the first real Black heroes.
So why do we celebrate and study Black History Month?
Because through 2 centuries of slavery and over 90 years of legalized segregation, Black Americans and white Americans both risked their lives for the cause of freedom, and this should never be forgotten.
And as you can see by us standing here today, Black, white, Hispanic, male and female from different backgrounds and religions, we are ensuring that we will make this world a better place in which to live.
Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child. Sometimes I feel like a motherless child, a long ways from home, a long ways from home.
So long, so far, far away is Africa.
Africa.
Not even memories alive. Save those that history books create. Save those that songs beat back into the blood. Beat out of blood with words that sung in strange, un-Negro tongue. So long, so far away, is Africa.
A people brought to this land on slave ships,
Shackled and treated cruelly, carried across the sea.
And brought to a land forged on a foundation of freedom.
Freedom. Freedom. Freedom.
Yes, forged on freedom, only to be made to bear the burden and the whip of the slave master. And their only hope would be for deliverance.
Did my Lord deliver? Daniel, deliver Daniel, deliver Daniel. Did my Lord deliver? Daniel, then why not every man? He delivered Daniel from the lion's den, and Jonah from the belly of the whale, and the Hebrew children from the fiery furnace. Then why not every man?
The black man was brought to this land, but he managed to endure and survive many horrifying years of slavery. Beatings, floggings, and lynchings were commonplace.
But he survived. He survived, and that calling of his name will bring consolation to his many fears, trials, and tribulations. And so he would steal away.
My Lord, He calls me. He calls me with the thunder. The trumpet sounds within my soul. I ain't got long to say. When she come to me, it was the moon rise. And when she touched my hand, it was the true stars fall.
Animal, why you have to run off like that all the time?
Oh, I don't run off all the time.
Oh, cannibal.
Oh, Hannibal. Oh, Hannibal. Come here, with master. Look at them.
What?
Look at that big old fat star shining way up yonder there.
Cannibal.
1, 2, 3, 4. That's the big dipper, Sarah. With the drinking going straight in North Star.
Everybody knows that's a big dipper, Hannibal. You better hush your mouth for sure. Trees with many plantations got more ears than leaves.
You know, drinking going herself. Sure is bright tonight. Sure would make good for traveling light tonight.
You sure like your brother, boy. Just like you. Look like you. Talk like you. In time, I reckon, you'll be gone like you.
Sam, you think I said made all the way to Canada? Mama said powerful far in Ohio. Well, of course he did. I bet you he done got himself a job and doing just fine. I bet you that. Bet you he done got himself a wife and family and they're doing great.
You mean that he's alive,
Oh,
Hannibal?
Sarah, I know he's alive. I remember when I met him here that night to bring him a parcel and an extra pair of shoes. He was standing right here. Right here. The moonlight was just streaming down on him, and he was breathing, Lord, Lord, That boy was breathing so, you can hear him on the other side of the woods. He didn't say nothing to me. Nothing at all. He just kind of gave me a push on my shoulder. Here. Then I handed him the parcel and the extra pair of shoes. Then he turned and hit off through the woods. Like lightning. He was bound out of this place.
You ready to go, don't you now? How you know it's so much better to run out? Even if you do make it, how you know what's out there? Would it be like to be in the world all by yourself?
I don't know, Sarah. All I know is what it's like to be a slave.
Where would you go?
No, that's all I know. Find out there, baby. I heard people out there, they help runaway slaves.
You mean them abolitionists? I heard Master Sweet say once that they catch runaways and make soap out of.
That slave wanna talk, Sarah. Whenever you hear me say about slave, you always believe the opposite. As far as I look at it, every slave wanna run off before he dies.
Terrible. I couldn't go. I'm too delicate. My brother's right out from here to the river.
Not you, as scared about as you is. But don't you worry now. I'll be back to buy you. And Mama too, she's still alive. You bet that thing.
And finally, according to the Emancipation Proclamation, which was signed by Abraham Lincoln in 1865, which was the 13th Amendment, which said that all slaves in America were forevermore free.
Freedom! Freedom! Freedom!
The black man was given his freedom, but he soon found out that freedom and black skin was a deadly combination in a hostile environment. But one thing he knew for sure, it was better to have the right to be free than to be a slave with no right at all.
Oh, freedom.
Shoes, you got shoes, all of us shoes got shoes.